Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Not so happy because it is Monday, but happy because I don't know, I get to paint. It's always a reason to be happy. Today, you might see that we are doing things a little bit differently. I'm not working digitally, which is very different for me, guys. But I used to actually work entirely non-digitally when I was first kind of like teaching myself. So I'm going back to my roots today, and I want to finish up this watercolor that I had been doing like time-lapse videos of recording, and then it sat on my desk for a couple months and I haven't touched it. So what I'd really like to do is finish it today. Whether it turns out or it doesn't at all, we're gonna find out. But I just need to have it done because we are going to be starting some new watercolors that I am going to be painting for someone else as a gift, and I want to start those soon. So we need to get this done so I have the space to, you know, put another one on my, this is like my watercolor easel. It's just a board that I clip stuff to, but it's the only one I have. So it's a good excuse to force me to finish something. So it has been sitting kind of on my desk, so it's a bit dusty. I imagine you're supposed to like cover them or whatever. I did not do that for this one because I kind of have a love-hate relationship with it. I'm hoping though that I'm gonna love it once it's done. I'm also hoping that I had some trouble this morning while I was setting up my OBS on this laptop instead of like I'm usually at my desktop. And so let me go to, I'm trying to set this up. I do have like 2 cameras now because one's from my laptop, one's from my whatever. But I was having trouble with the audio, so it may sound terrible. But guys, I am in the process of looking for a better mic, so I will be fixing my audio soon, but sadly not today. So you guys are gonna have to bear with it. If it's that terrible, just put me on mute and you can just watch me kind of fumble my way through getting back into watercolors. Because it's been a hot minute, guys, and even when I was doing this painting before, it was kind of, I was a little timid, and you may be able to tell because I kind of stopped at like a point where I wanted to make the background like darker, but I was unsure how dark, so I'm kind of struggling a little bit with it. So we're gonna see what we end up doing today. I think if I end up making the background darker, I'm gonna have to lighten, like lift these shades because these are pretty darn dark. But they also need to be dark, you know? So yeah, I'm struggling there a bit. I'm gonna pull up, let me find the reference I had before. That would be helpful. So the reference I had for Jinu had like a dark background, but it kind of like faded lighter, and so what I was gonna do is do like light fade and then like darker at the edges, which I clearly did not get into quite yet. Hold up, I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, we're good. Yeah, it's all the dust I just brushed off of it. So we're gonna get the reference. We are going to attempt as good as we can to fix this. All right, let me show you guys what I had going. I had like, that's gonna be the best way to show you guys. This is the image I was using. So, okay, here's what we could do. We leave the background lighter, and what we do instead is darken. I'm scared, guys. Problem is, like, I can't seem to get this shade of purple that I really want for the skin tone, and that's kind of what's making me hesitate. I think what I would like to do is pull out some colored pencils and see if I can use like multimedia to resolve this issue, and then we're gonna work on the background. So that's what we're gonna do. Let me download this picture. But I have got to get brave, guys, because if we're gonna do this, if I'm gonna start picking up watercolors again and streaming them, I gotta stop being so timid. Hopefully this background noise is not killing you guys. I like this one. So I have these other watercolor color pencils, but they're really chalky. Let me show you guys. So I don't know if they're gonna be the best solution to pollution, so to speak. I don't know if I have the right color. Oh, this is dusty. Guys, I vacuumed yesterday, but I forgot to clean tops of everything. Sometimes you just build. Okay, hold up. What about this, guys? Don't look at the tip. I don't know what I was doing and why I cut it like that. But this is, I think we can make this work. What else do we have? Do we have some lighter shades in here? So these keep kind of work like you can blend them. So what if we put down, because I want to keep it lively enough. He has like also some, it's like some soft pink tones that come, ooh, that's a bit strong, that come through in the cheeks. And you know, guys, I love making my characters blush a little bit, especially the ducks. I just think it's cute. Sorry, guys, I'm making a mess over here. Okay, let me give myself a little more cable space. There's like 2 layers. I have white. Might need that for blending. I've used this one a lot. These are the what's the brand? Stabilo. Yeah, I bought these like a hot minute ago, and I had the intentions of like drawing portraits actually, which is probably a little bit insane, but you know what? It's me, guys. I have really big ideas, and then I started using them and I realized how insane it is to blend these. So if you see someone who's like drawing portraits with like colored pencils and it turns out beautifully blended, just know that it's not easy. It's not as easy as it looks. So maybe at some point stream, guys, we could learn how to actually do this properly. But that is not today's goal. Today's goal is finish this guy. I think what I need, let me look for some scrap paper. I want to test this out before we get going crazy on it. This is kind of fun. Let me show you guys. I took a tea bag and oh, it's so bright. You can't even see. Okay, there we go, in an angle. I took a tea bag and let it stain this paper, and then I drew a little thing around it. Never ended up doing anything with it, but it was fun. Alright, so I think what we're gonna do is kind of get the color we have already. We're gonna let it dry. It's pretty light because I want to be able to mimic what I already have. Let's give ourselves even more, because you know what? If we make mistakes, then I can try blending in a different section of this. We're just gotta be careful to see how much. It'd be interesting to see how it reacts with water. If I spill any. I think I did it maybe once before where I like did color pencil and then drew with the water, or painted with the watercolors over, and I feel like it ended up like making it super dark. So that may be an L. We're gonna find out. Or we go, I mean, this is an option. It's not my favorite option, but it is an option. Let me grab my pencil sharpener. I try to keep everything in one spot, you know what I mean? on the smaller side. I do also have like a knife I can do it. Cause I have the darndest time, guys, getting perfectly clean. That's good enough. Come on, drive faster. So this looks a lot lighter for you guys. I might want to try to lower the saturation. Not saturation, like the whites. Let me see if I can do that without crashing. I haven't used this laptop to stream before, so I'm not entirely sure how many different like tabs I can open before it just, you know, crashes it. So we're gonna see what happens. Well, it's taking a hot minute for it to start. Okay. I think I have to go into effects. I also feel like it's a little too, our temperature is a little too blue compared to what like my eyes are seeing, which may help you guys see the purple's a little bit better. Right now I have exposure on. I think I have everything on manual. Well, we're not gonna worry too much about this. Alright, we just have like a brightness function. I feel like that's just not doing what I wanted it to. Maybe our contrast is too high. I'll lower that a little bit. I'm gonna lower the saturation because I want this to be pretty accurate for you guys. Maybe like 49. That's probably a little bit better, right? Why does it look more saturated? Well, it's not that great out. Let's see what this looks. That seems pretty good, guys. I think that helped. All right, let's close this. All right, here we go. Let's see this dry. Relatively dry. I just kind of draw over this a little. This is a very cool purple. Not sure if this is gonna be... We may have to flatten down the paper texture a little. This is kind of giving us a textured design though. If I turn it, you guys can kind of see a little bit better what I'm seeing. Let's try some of our more chalky. I think what I'll do is I'll lay down a lighter color first. There are a lot of grooves in this paper. Ooh, that's really strong. Oh, but I think we can work it too. That's not bad. Where's my blender? Let me get this cleaned up so I can use it. I need a I need sandpaper. I used to have sandpaper. It does not, it's not here anymore. Can I just use this? In case you guys, you probably already do this, but don't put your paper smudger through a pencil sharpener. I never learned how to do this the right way, so that's what happens. Let's clean off some of that residue. Okay, let's try this again. What if we went in with just this purple? We didn't do the light shade underneath. It looks a little dark, but let's hit it with the smudge. That's a lovely purple, actually. I think that'll be gentle enough. That's kind of what I'm looking for, skin tone wise. Let's put this up here for you guys to see. I like it how it's warmer, but it's not too blue. Hey, someone joined chat. Hello, user IN2DS8XB8H. I'm gonna have to give you, I'm just gonna call you user. I hope that's okay. All right, so we're gonna use this. We're gonna use this color, guys. We're gonna pray that it works. I think what we do is we'll start down here, so if things go wrong, at least it didn't ruin the face, because that's kind of very important. So I think I just lightly put this in here. I'm gonna let the blending tool do the rest. All right, here we go, guys. I'm a little bit scared. Oh, it's working. Yes, it's working. Yeah, this is the color. I don't have like the paint pigments I need in the watercolor to do it, but this is working perfect with the colored pencil. And we can, I think we're gonna be able to darken this up either with more of the colored pencil, or what we do is, yeah, that looks good. We might use some watercolors over top, but I'm gonna try not to do that just because I'm worried about how the water is going to affect the colored pencil, which we can actually test. Here we go. Let's test that now. Oh, it doesn't appear to be doing anything. You can call me that? Okay, very good. I was worried I was gonna have to try and say your name each time. Okay. It doesn't seem like it, guys. It isn't affecting the color pencil. Let's try doing a color wash over top. So let's pretend this is our little duck. We're just gonna drop in some pigment. It seems like it's blending just fine, actually. I am pleasantly surprised. It could be also that it's working well because it's not that thick of like powder that's down with the colored pencil. What we might do, let's try there. Let's put it on really thick and then see what happens. Guys, I keep losing stuff. Here's my blender. Alright, so there is a little bit of powder. I usually just blow it off. That's a pretty purple, don't you guys think? I think so. Alright, let's try some color washes over top of that. We're gonna do like this blue purple I have mixed up here. It doesn't seem to be having any trouble, even with it on thicker. Let's do a little blending out. That looks pretty good. Are you using pencil to watercolor? Does that even work? That's a really good question, user. I'm actually figuring that out right now. I didn't have the right shade of purple that I wanted for the skin color. For the feathers, I guess it would be since it's a duck. But I have this color pencil that's like the shade I want. So I was like, can I blend watercolor and colored pencil? And I think because these are not, they're not like waxy colored pencils. They're very chalky. And so they kind of like, they blend a lot like charcoal pencil. And so what I'm testing now is if I can do color washes over top of the pencil. And I did here, the like pink purple color is the color pencil here. And then this darker is watercolor pen, watercolor pencil, just watercolor. And it seems to be blending okay. I think if they were like waxy, like this color pencil, this one I used, it may not have worked as well because it creates like a glossy surface. Oh, these aren't too waxy. Let's see how it works. It's worth trying. I feel like it's not blending as much. Although it's a little hard to tell those color differences. Let's do a warm shade. Seems like it's working okay actually, even with the more waxy one. I do feel like with the chalky one though, we're gonna get a little smoother of a transition just because it will pick up a little bit of the pigment from like the chalky part. All right, let's keep going guys because it's working. All right, I'm just gonna color it all in and then I'll blend it out. The blending stick is helping because the paper is really textured. I'm hoping that my mic isn't... Wait, let's see. You guys might be getting ASMR. I didn't think about how the coloring pencils would probably be a little loud. Once I get a better mic though, guys, it's not gonna be much of a problem. I promise I'm gonna get one. I just have to start looking for one. Because sometimes I don't like to have like wear my, headset. You should try shaving it to dust and using it like that. Oh, that's a good idea. Like applying it then, like with a brush. Hold up. That could be kind of fun. Let me see, I need a little container. This could work. That way I could probably be a little more like gentle with its application. Guys, I haven't done this in so long. It feels so fun to like actually be using like physical art mediums. Like I just do digital so much. Okay, that's probably enough. Let's try one of my small brushes. Let's try this one. User, this is a really fun idea. I'm glad you mentioned that. Oh, it feels like I'm doing somebody's makeup. Oh, that's actually kind of nice. It's very subtle. A bit more control. I do like that. Though I need to use... I put these lines down, so I gotta smush them out. Hey, that's working. Where did I put that brush? Okay, you guys are getting a really good look into how I function when I work with physical medium. And it's always like at least 20% of me looking for where I set down my brush. Yeah, this is nice. Let's get that gentle color in there. You know how I was talking about adding like kind of like a little blush and color to the cheeks. Maybe shaving it like this. I could shave some like red. And then, you know, just kind of brush it in there, nice and soft. That way it doesn't get too strong. It's a nice way to control it. Oh, we forgot the tail. Whoops. Here we go. I thought about using a highlighter to touch up the eyes a little because I really like how his eyes look like they glow in the picture. I was like, how can I replicate that? Also, I was gonna make these hearts purple as well, so I think I'm just gonna color them with this. Although I might do these darker, so maybe we won't do powder with that one. Let's blend this out though. I think if I remember right, I can also erase some of these out with a kneaded eraser pretty well. So we're just gonna see how it goes. Sorry guys, I keep blowing on it. Is it working? It is working. I really liked, I like brushing it on. I think that was a good call. I'm just gonna I already committed to these areas with drawing it in, so I just have to work on smoothing those out. But then we can get back to layering it with the brush. Let me grab my kneaded eraser too. Let me get it warmed up. And then we're gonna shade this a little bit. I'm gonna take off some, hopefully take off some from the hand up here. Oh yeah, look at that. It's lifting off. It's working. And we're gonna get this side of this hand a little bit here. And a little here on the neck. And again, we can apparently use watercolors over top, so we might be using those to shade a little bit. But we're getting a good base in, and I feel like this is the color I wanted. So that's a win. Let's just shave some more of this into here. Just gonna be really careful. This is just like a crafting knife that I have. I used to do stencils and stuff. I never use this. Alrighty. Let's get some color in here. Although it's working, but I don't know if it's layering that well. So it gets a good base down that's light, but I'm having a hard time getting it to darken up. Kind of nice for smoothing out though. Maybe I'll put a little down here on the flippers. Just give it a little. Oops. I should not have blown on the tray. That was a rookie move. Carefully blow, Emma. Okay. We're getting there. We're getting there, fam. Okay, cool. Let's just hit the edges. I think what I wanted to do... Germano Rodriguez Art, hello, welcome. Okay, we're gonna shade under here a little. We're gonna define a little bit more of this under the cheeks here. I think that it has dark enough. You know, in the end, I might go over a shade here on the hairline. I might go over like the red beads on the hat and just kind of like give them a little bit more vibrancy. Because I have some nice, like, this is low-key like orange, but I could hit it. Okay, esta ficar bonito. Okay, so I don't know if that's Italian or Spanish. I do speak a tiny bit of Spanish, but thank you. I know bonito is like good. Also, we have Alma Gariel. Welcome. It's all pretty. Thank you. Oh, I have really long delay. I know, guys. I'm really sorry about the delay. So if it takes me a really long time to respond, I'm really sorry. I have been trying to figure out how to fix that. And my brother told me there's a way to fix it, but I haven't had him help me like fix it. So I don't know if I can do that midstream, but if I can, or if you guys know how to fix it without having to stop stream and restart, let me know. And then, you know, I'll try and fix it. Other than that, we might just have to kind of go with it today until I get it sorted out. Okay, you think it's Spanish? Okay, cool. All right, where were we? What was I doing? Oh, that's right, I was gonna blend. We're gonna blend. I think this is a good color. Yeah, this is nice and vibrant. That's what I was hoping for. I just gotta be careful around the eyes because I don't want to end up ruining those colors under there. Right, I gotta blow on this thing again. Let's just darken this a little bit more. Okay, guys, I think this is looking how I was hoping it would look. So I think now we need to address the background because I'm not in love with the background. We're gonna fill these hearts and then we're gonna do the background. These I want to do really dark. And then maybe we'll fade out the edges. Okay. Ta-da. It looks great. Thank you. Thank you for the encouragement, guys, because I am feeling a little bit timid today about how to tackle this and make it look I wanted it to look. But if you guys think it's looking good, I definitely appreciate it. That's a good sign. We're headed in the right direction. Alright, these hearts are not gonna be perfect. They're gonna be a little... We can clean up the edges later. Alright, let's pull up that reference again. Okay, here's what we got going. Here's the reference. I don't want to follow the reference 100%. Are you gonna add an umbrella to his hand? That would be kind of actually funny because our hand looks like it's holding something. Yeah. I mean, I could do that. I could do that. I don't know. We're gonna put a pin in that. We might do it. We might do it. Okay. I think what I want to do is I'm gonna darken down here at the base a little bit, but I'm going to kind of keep like this type of section light, and we're gonna do the top darker as well. Not sure if that makes sense. I may change my mind halfway through, but we're gonna give it a shot. Sorry, we gotta let's put our pencils somewhere. Gotta stay tidy. Oh, good job, Emma. Guys, I swear I know what I'm doing. It's fine. It's just a little bit of water. Just dab it up. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's mix some. I think what I'm gonna do is keep it a little more blue. This looks like black, but it's actually just a really dark blue. What do you think? Let's see how this looks up here. I think that looks good. We can up saturation later because we're still. And what I might do is I actually have ink that I can go in with, and I might do like black ink on the hat. Because we do need to keep that side relatively all right, I'm in like full concentration mode. Let's try and get these edges nice. It is tough when you're working around these little corners, which I knew was going to become a bit of a problem as I was working on that. Let's take off this piece here. Focus on the focus. Thank you. I gotta hone it in. I've got every brain cell engaged. Also, sorry if I do, like my chat normally is like in front of me, so I can just glance up. It's a little more different today since it has to be to the side. So part of the delay is that I don't see chat as fast as I normally would. I think today's stream is going to be just like how I paint, and it's going to be a little bit slow. But that's okay. I'm gonna like channel my inner Bob Ross. Okay, get that darkened up there. How's that looking? That's looking all right. Now I'm scared that I went too dark. No worries. Oh, thank you. I have some worries. I have worries about where I'm going with this. Because if I go too dark, I can ruin it. And the light balance it's really important for this piece. I think what I may end up doing is I can lift some of the colors. There's a question, but what is this? Okay, so when I was designing the coat, I was like, how would like the coat like fit over a duck? And I figured their tail would end up sticking out the back. So this is just his tail back here. His coat doesn't like cover his tail. Because I didn't want like his outfit to look too long. So we kind of just went with that. I don't know if it was a really good decision, but at this point we're committed, you know? All right, we're gonna darken this up. I mean, we could eventually add ink up here if we wanted. I might hit like some rim light on the hat to help pop the edge out. But I'm not 100% sold on that idea yet. We're gonna work on blending this later. Da-da. Okay, oh, then are you going to add a triangle type tail, like sticking out from behind? I mean, I could. Oh, actually, you can use Pooh's feather. Pooh's feather? I don't know how to say that as a reference for the duck. Okay. I think I'm just gonna leave kind of what I have now. Because I think I'm too committed with the colors, you know? Oh, Poe the Panda? Got you. I feel like right now, if I were to outline this a little bit better for you guys to see. Like, this is just kind of like the tail. This is what we're gonna just go with. I mean, it's kind of like a triangle shape, but I don't think I'm gonna do anything more than that. All right, we're gonna flip this. This isn't like 100% how I wish it looked from Kung Fu Panda. Okay, I got you. I'm sorry. I wasn't quite sure at first. But we're committed. We are committed to this. So is that his sleeve? I think I got this too. Let's bring this in just a little. Also have to be careful that I don't paint over these little red beads that are part of the hat. Oh dear. We went in a little too much here. I think the colored pencils are gonna be saving us on this one. But the goal is to have it done today before I end stream. And we're kind of on a time limit because I like to paint with natural light, and the sun is going to be going down in not too long. And it's really cloudy today, so it's not going to take much before we don't have any more light. You know, we could also use colored pencil in the background. We could do that. Let's just pop this out a little bit more here. Maybe we'll make his tail a little more pointed. Okay. Now, normally you have your paper like taped down to the board, but I really hate doing that because tape is really expensive, and you end up just, you know, ripping it off afterwards. You can't use again. And I don't like to staple it because then you put holes in the paper. And I didn't plan far ahead enough, which is also partly my fault. So that's why you can see like the paper buckling. Because it does not have really anything to hold down. Let me just use stronger pigment here. Maybe just use straight up just blue, and this shade down here. I think we need to get darker. You could switch to digital after the sun gets darker. No? Yeah, I could. I'd probably have to restart stream because this laptop, I don't have my tablet hooked to this laptop. I have it hooked to my bigger PC. So I could do that though. But today is a special stream. I don't normally stream actually on Monday. I usually stream Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So I'll be doing that again. So I'll just go until, you know, it's too dark, or if I finish first, and then I'll be back on Wednesday. And we'll probably be working digital on Wednesday. Okay, here we go. Just kind of doing some reshaping here, refining the lines from the original drawing, because I never really did establish these feet too well. I did something a little different on this where I don't normally draw like the little toenails that ducks have, but I figured since he's like a little demon character, like having little talents would be, you know, part of his design. Maybe make it look a little more demon-like. kind of like that idea. Okay, let's get darker up here. Well, we're definitely getting darker, guys, but I'm still not in love with how things are blending. I don't usually paint dark things in watercolor, so it's always a bit of a challenge when you're not familiar with, you know, certain styles. And I have to say, this type of paper, it is cheaper and it does not like distribute the pigment like some of the other brands do. So I'm trying to use it up on projects that I'm not super in love with, and then save my good paper for other projects. Do you record your streams? Yeah, you can watch them. Oh, then have a good day. It's nice watching you, and if I can, I'll be there Wednesday. Okay, sounds good. I do record my streams. You can watch them like after they're finished. I have like a playlist on my channel just called like live art streams or something like that. In case you want to scrub through and see how this turned out, it will be there after I finish streaming today. Thank you for stopping by though. It was nice chatting with you. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Let's put some color in here, in between the feet. There we go. That may have been a little too much blue, but we're gonna layer it up some more. I kind of wish there was a better light source, you know, for this shop. This particular piece, I feel like our light source is what's lacking. And I'm not sure if I feel passionate enough about this piece to put the time into like attempting to rescue it. Like, I'm gonna do the best I can, but sometimes a piece doesn't always turn out. The reason I'm asking this is because you were talking to no one and it felt really weird. So, oh, I got you. I mean, I never know when someone's gonna join, so I like to just kind of talk about what I'm doing. So it doesn't really feel weird to me, you know, talking to no one, because any minute there could be someone there. So no worries about that. I often talk to myself when I'm working anyway, just because I like to work out my process. So I was like, why not stream while I'm working? And then if someone stops by, you know, I can chat with them, but if not, that's totally okay. I think I'm gonna take, I got a blue that I like. That's a little bit more like this bounce lighting I was getting over here. Oh, like me. Do you think a circle around the feet would look good? That's not a bad idea. Kind of like a drop shadow. I might end up doing that. I think that might be a good idea. Alright, so you can see some of the pigment's gonna get lifted as we do this. But that's okay. I kind of wanted to do that. I'm gonna remove some of the pigment from these spots. Let me grab a brush I don't like as much. This is like my lovely brand new brush, and so I should probably not be scrubbing on the canvas with it. This one though, this one's like my beater brush. It's also tougher. I think it's like, it's not real, but it's supposed to be like a boar hair type brush. And so I kind of like, doing that. We're just gonna lift, and then we're gonna pretend the light came in down here at an angle a bit more. bit like this. This paper's great for lifting pigment. Looks like a cloud. Yeah, it does. Honestly, this is the same technique you could use, or maybe fog. Yeah, fog would be good. I like fog. I think that would work well with this. But yeah, if you ever want to like move some pigment, watercolor is actually more forgiving than you think. You just have to be careful how much you rough up the paper because it can damage like the integrity of the paper. But I'm not roughing it up too much, so I think we're all right. And then draw a little straighter of a line up here. Yep, I like that. The fog could match him. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Kind of go for that like atmospheric look. I hear what you're saying. Let's just draw a little bit more up here. And we can use some of these lines to lead us into looking at into the, you know how you're supposed to like lead the eye through the painting? Maybe we can use these like little fog lines behind him to lead us to the character in the center. Give it a little more. What? Don't hate that, guys. Give it a little more direction. Don't hate it. It still needs some adjustments. Gotta fix this heart up here. I'm gonna have to get more paint pigment. We're kind of running out of this color I have here. I think this is casting a shadow. There we go. All right, so here's what I wanted to do with the lighter area. Now that we have it lifted a bit. Let's just blend that a little bit. I think what I want to do, what's the pigment? The top of the hat basically disappeared. It did indeed. I'm not gonna worry about that too much because I can either lift or darken it. But I can, it's a little hard for you guys to see, but I can still tell where it's at. So I'm not worried about losing it. We're gonna keep working on the background until we get that where we want. And then we're gonna worry about making sure that everything's visible once we get more to the end. Okay, this is what I do not like about this paper, is that it's not really good for blending once it gets too wet. And so we're having a little trouble down here, like gradiating the color. So I might end up going over it with a colored pencil. Or I need to be more patient and let it dry. All right, let's think about this, guys, before we go too far. Ba, ba, ba. Fix his heart. Maybe I need to... The sun is running, yeah. Maybe I need to... I think I need to let it dry a bit, guys. Let's also think about... Let's think about adding maybe some details in here for the skin tones, because a lot of detail got lost. Sadly, it did, but we're gonna bring it back. I'm gonna bring out my little brush. Let's get some purples. Purples going here. That might look nice. Can you show the painting on the shelf while waiting? Yes, I can. Okay, so this painting, this is the first, oh, let me keep from breaking it. This is the first silly duck painting I did of this is the angry farmer duck. And you can see this one's so much lighter, so it was much easier to do compared to this one, which we're struggling with. But yeah, this is just he's a little farmer duck, but he's grouchy. Amazing, thank you. I was really actually happy with how this one turned out. I had some trouble with the hat, but it ended up working. So what I'm hoping is that if we just trust the process, this one's gonna work out too. We just gotta keep going. Yeah, this one's super cute. It's hard to go wrong with ducks, you know what I mean? Like, even if you don't love exactly how it turned out, they're still just cute, so it kind of saves the painting. All right, let's see. I think I want to go a little bit more red in there. Let's paint in some shadows here under the neck. Got a little too dark. The key is to not panic. And one thing too with watercolors is they lighten up as they dry. So it may look a little too dark when you first apply it, but it's a pretty purple red that I have in here. It's much on the cooler side. This one's usually that's a pretty cool color too. You just need to be careful how much we do. All right, I'm also gonna shade the back side of this arm. And so what this hand is doing is actually like the little like K-pop heart thing. Oh, it doesn't look right for you guys, but that's essentially what it's doing, this hand here. And so we have to kind of like resurrect that shape. Let me pull out the reference. So and I can kind of show you guys, because I did a version of this. Actually, you know what I can do? I can just pull up before I started working on it today, because I kind of drew over the lines. This is kind of what it's supposed to look like. Still a little hard to see. You could have drawn a little hand on top of it so that it would look like that. Yeah, good point. But we're too far in. We're too far in, guys. We're committed. We got to do it the way it is now. It's okay. It's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. We're gonna trust the process. I'm gonna put my reference up in front of me so I can see it a little bit better. So how this, so we're seeing this hand. Oh, all right, pretend you didn't see that, guys. We're just gonna go like this. This finger. We'll soften these out later. Another option, little pro tip, guys, if you mess up a painting so bad, you can go through and do line art around it, and that usually can rescue it. I think I did. You can't really tell, but I did subtly do that. It looks like he's doing the peace sign. I mean, that works too. That works too. I'm not upset with that. That works. Peace, heart. Works for me. Yeah, I won't be won't be gifting this piece to anybody because it's not really it's not that great. But sometimes you have to paint something bad, you know? Like I have a whole sketchbook full of like watercolors where I have them pressed in between the pages, and they're just a lot of really trash watercolor pieces and they will never see the light of day. But you have to paint some bad things before you can paint some good things. It's a good little warm-up. I think what happened here, guys, I don't like the angle of this finger. That's what happened. Just not how I wanted it to be. Put that in there. And then this hand, just kind of like resting on his side. If you draw an umbrella on his hand, it could look like it's raining, because if you look around at his feet, it looks like he's standing on water. That is a good point. I think the only thing, like if I was working in like gouache where you can work from dark to lights, I could do it. I think I'm too worried that if I try to do the umbrella, I'm gonna mess it up and it's gonna end up like getting too muddy. I'm too scared to do it. But it is a good idea. I don't think I can do it. What I could do though is when it's finished, I can take a picture of it and then digitally I can draw over my picture and try doing an umbrella version. So that's always an option. But for now, we're committed. We're gonna make this little heart. We're gonna make this work. Oh. So we're seeing it from like this side. These hands, the thumb comes in the back. And so I think this line needs to be drawn all the way into here. Like the knuckles. I think that helps a little bit. I do like the idea you had though, user, of putting like a little, maybe like a circle down at the bottom. I think I'm gonna do that because right now I don't like this line that's here. And I think doing that might help give him like a little shadow so it looks like he has a place to stand. Okay, here we go. Put in the neck a little bit more. We also need to darken his hair up, guys. His hair. Let me pull up that picture of Jinu. You don't really see his hair. We're gonna have to use our imagination. That's always a scary thing to do because you're kind of flying into the unknown. But we're gonna make it work. Let's bring out this hand a little bit here. There we go. This kind of would come overlap here because this is his thumb back here. Let's soften that out. I don't hate the idea of making it look a little bit like line art. It keeps it a little like illustrative. That's not a bad thing. I just have to be careful how much I do. I don't want to overdo it. You know? Let's adjust the neck here a little bit. I want it to be darker, but not quite as dark as here. Bring it up. Kind of like that. But keep it purple enough that we still see the red on the beads here. Let's blend this out. I might want to pull out a bigger brush. Sometimes if I get too detailed using these small brushes, I end up making more trouble for myself than I need to. Might be nice to darken this a little bit. Let's drop some blue in here. Darken this part here. All right, we're getting there, guys. We are getting there, slow but sure. Slow but sure, we are getting there. Let's see. It helps though that I can like look at my screen to kind of reference what I'm doing. It gives me a different angle and perspective to check the values, and I'm enjoying that aspect of streaming while doing the watercolors. All right, let's shade more. I think what I'm gonna do is make his hair like a cool shade, and then we're doing a little bit counterintuitive. We're using warm colors to do shadows, but I like to try new things, so as long as the values are right, we can shade with a warm tone. We just got to get the darks and lights correct, and then we're good to go. Let me grab a warmer red here. All right, so that looks good. That looks good. Put a little more in here. Brush that out a little. Just that there. We also need to make his eyelashes, I think, a little bit darker. That might be nice too. We're getting down to where it's like, it's the little things we gotta adjust. Because I'm afraid to do too much more on the background just now. Let's darken up. Let's darken up his bill. I did like almost... Ooh, that's too much red. That's way too much red. I did his bill a little bit like cooler shaded, and let's add a little... Let's get a little yellow in there to kind of desaturate this a little bit. It's not quite brown, but it's borderline brown. That's what I want. So we need to make sure the bill stands out enough. All right, let's add a little more water, blend this out. Oh yeah. Good. It's good to have a steady hand. Very unsteady. My gosh. It's alright, we're just gonna say it extended out more that way. Yeah, there's no brush smoothing in real life, guys. And no Control Z. No forgiveness for mistakes. I think that's part of the fun of... Oh dear. It's okay. We're gonna make this work. It's part of the fun though of what makes like physical art appealing to me, is that like there's no perfecting. And especially with watercolors, like sometimes you get what you get. You don't always have 100% control over what's gonna happen. And that's just part of that do be part of the magic. Doesn't always feel like magic, tease. I think we got a little too dark down there, but let's blend this out with some water here quickly. I like the idea of making the skin like more warm, shaded pink purple. That kind of draws more attention to the face. See how we're getting this like nice, like highlighted like in the forehead area? I might try and erase out a little there. But I do like that. That just kind of draws us to his face a little bit more. I think we might also, if we do the hair really dark, like black, it might be nice because that'll be like the section where like the lightest lights are kind of meeting the darkest darks, and that always draws your attention. So it's a good way to kind of guide our viewer to the face and the eyes. So I think we're winning there. Where I think we're not winning though is how much the clothing has disappeared into the background. So I'm trying to decide 100% how I want to tackle that. I kind of like the idea of going over all of this with the colored pencil to just kind of like do like rim lighting on it. I think I have a colored pencil that would also kind of match the, like, see this color here, this watercolor here. See that shade? I feel like this colored pencil goes well with that. And I'm thinking what I'll do is hit the edges with this on this side, and then maybe on the red. I don't know. I'm still on the fence with this. Let's do the eyes. Let's finish the eyes, I think, though. Let me pull up that reference. Okay, so I think I want to exaggerate just how much brightness is there in the eyes. Let me get a little more. Might have to get clean water. You have to be careful how much when you're trying to get really specific colors. If your water is tinted, which it is at this point, you can sometimes mess with your shades. Let's darken up the inside of the pupil just a little bit more. I might rim these then with maybe like a vibrant orange, like around there. That might be kind of nice. Let's pull out this like neon yellow I have. Put a little more there. And blend it. Trying to keep the harmony. Let's try on the hat, guys. Let's hit this. Actually, here's my test piece. Maybe let's grab a lighter blue, actually. This is a nice. Oh, I kind of like that. It's kind of hard for you guys to see. Let's see what happens when I hit this hat edge up here. I think what I might have to do is add like a warm light source, because we're getting like, oh, that looks good. Hold up, my legs are also falling asleep. I like it. I think that's a win. That's a win with the blue. What happened though? What would happen? This could be a terrible idea. What color we got going here? That's kind of like, you got a little, this is more pink. I feel like we're like borderline pink red in our red shades there. Like, what would happen? This is, I'm very scared, guys. But I want to do it. I'm thinking of adding like a light red, like light source here. But I'm a little bit timid about it. I wonder if I should scrub out some of the blues a little bit more. Just so we don't get too muddied, you know? Also like how this is removing some of the texture we had going on. We're gonna resurrect this piece. That's what we're gonna do with it. You can do a lot with just a paper towel. Let's get rid of the slime work down here a little bit. Just settle. We can just remove the top. Okay. If we wave it in the air, it'll dry faster. Don't do this home. You could probably ruin your artwork. Okay. Now the question is, do we go in with some watercolors first? I don't think that's a bad idea. Let's hit with our warmest reds, because they're gonna go a little bit purple as we do this. I might even include a little bit of yellow into this mixture. Maybe not. I don't know. So my color pigments on the right side of my palette, which you guys can't see, are my like higher quality pigment ones. I bought them later in my art career, and so these are usually not quite as vibrant. So I have some nice reds on that other side that are nice. I like to have a cool red and then a warm red, just so I have some options. All right, we're gonna do it. We're gonna commit. And this may look a little bit dark right now, guys. But we're gonna go over with some lighter watercolors. Oh, it kind of looks terrifying. Perhaps I should have gone with a more purple. Let's go with a cooler red here. I just scratch it on. We're gonna be using colored pencils to rescue this piece. That's what I'm gonna say. Let's get some straight up red pigment up here. All right, now we need to hit the opposite corner with some crazy blues, and I have just the blue for that. I don't actually like to use it with my regular paintbrush because it will literally stain it. So I have a specific brush that is my brush that I end up just sacrificing to this blue. Because once you commit to this blue, you are very much committed to it. So we're kind of get this like each corner type contrast thing we're going on. We got red on one side, blue on the other. All right, let's paint it in extra strong. I like it. Not too bad. Let's soften in these shades a little bit here. Fill in these white marks. All right, perhaps that's too light. Let's go in with this shade of blue. I gotta hurry though, because I need to have this done today. Because I'm not picking up this piece again. I kind of like the direction of the paint going this like diagonal. Maybe try and pull that out a little bit more, you know? I'm gonna have to redraw on some of these hearts. Gives it a little more energy. I don't think it's a terrible idea. Let's focus on the hair since that kind of dried up. Also, let's line these eyes a little bit better. The eyeliner going. I gotta pull up more of that pigment. I like the idea of keeping it warm though. So I'm using a pretty red shade here. When I was coming up with the how I wanted to draw the eyes, I kind of referenced like webcomics a little bit and how they do their eyes. Like a webcomic. Jinu. Eyebrows. What's gonna be scary is when I try to add like his patterns on. That's gonna be terrifying. We're gonna do it. We're gonna make it. Oops. Oh, that's even more wet. Guys, my hands are gonna be stained. I'm gonna be all blue. Here we go. Keep it blue. Oops, oh, that's the wrong blue. Because then we're gonna hit like this edge. Watch this. Ooh. I like that. Yes, 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 yes. We can blend it out with a darker shade. This is kind of nice. This is certainly more contrasty color-wise than the original reference, but I really like it, so we're just gonna roll with it. Where's my blender? Kind of set that pigment down in. Let's hit these highlights. We got here on the sleeve. You know what? Let's hit this more. Let's layer it up. We blend it into these blues. Really like that. Kind of just have to blow it as you go because you end up with a lot of chalky powder. It's got a little bit darker red in here. When I started this, guys, I had no idea that I was gonna end up using colored pencils to like pretty much finish it, but you know, it's part of being flexible. It's doing whatever you need to do to make the image you want. All right, let's add a little red up here on the hands. And then here as well. Just blend that together. That looks good. It's not showing up quite as how it looks for me in real life, but pretty darn close. So it's giving you guys a little idea of what I'm kind of envisioning for this. I think we need to get some magenta down in here. Kind of like our in-between shades. I kind of like how that's blending in with the blues I already had laid down. Kind of looks nice. Who knew these would blend so well with watercolors? I'm gonna have to do this more often. And I have it even lighter, like reddy orange I'm gonna use to do like our highest highlights. Let's grab that. Where'd that purple go? Here it is. Just gonna blend that out a little bit. Like that. Where is... I don't have like a lilac color. All I have is dark purples. Do I hit it with a blue? I feel like that just kind of disappeared into the background. Maybe not. We're not gonna worry too much about that hand then. Just yet. Combine this in here a little bit better. I think we can get some, maybe back to this shade. Sorry guys, I get really focused when I'm doing these specific areas and then I have a hard time thinking while I'm talking, you know? And so if I get really quiet, you know I'm locked in. Alright, so let's hit this back section with the blue. We got this lovely blue. And it might be nice to not even blend some of these sections, you know, because sometimes that nice, strong line work can kind of give you the effect you want. I like it. I like it. All right, let's darken up. Let me put these pencils down. I want to darken up. Just a little bit on the feathers here around the face. Get a little more of that in here. Oh, where's my blender? There we go. There we go. Just keep on layering. And I think we're gonna get to what we want. Let's just darken all this up a little bit. I like it. I do like it indeed. Let's do scrub. Just gonna grab some dark blues and darken down here under this part of the coat. This brush does not have a very good point on it, but it was already coated in that blue, so I'm just gonna commit to it. Okay, here we're gonna do something fun. Let's hit the hat with the colors. I think we're dry enough. We're good to go. I might have to apply like a fixing spray to this when it's done. We need to darken the blues behind him so that this rim stands out. But that's okay. It won't be too hard to do. It's the values are right up top here. Let's use this purple as our little blenderoo color where the red meets the blue. That looks cool. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. I have to sharpen the edge on this one a little bit. These brushes, not brushes, these pencils layer nicely on top of each other, actually. I'm pleasantly surprised with how it's working on the watercolors. Let's grab... See how this looks. I kind of want to use colored pencils on the eyes now. That's pretty bright. Let's check this yellow out. That has a nice glow to it. I do like that. Let's try and make the eyes really stand out. Just gonna draw in the tops a little bit here and down the side a little. Perfect. I want to be very careful about when I add the those final details in the eyes because I do not want them to disappear. All right, I'm gonna work on some of the blues here. So we need to get these values up to where they're supposed to be. Sort of darker blue. I need another hand, guys. Trying to like balance all these brushes in one hand is impossible. And I'm gonna do some blues down here on this side. And hit this edge. And down here. Just with the... Let's see if I have a darker blue. Do I have... This is nice. This is almost matches one of my... This color that I had here. Actually, you guys can't see it. This one here. It's really dark. But it's not too dark that you can't see the nice color saturation that's in it. This might be nice to actually pull up into this section and shade a little bit with. Kind of like that. Let's make this a little darker. I like keeping some of these purple shades in here though, because we get like the blend between the blue light and the red light. Just trying to like tie up loose ends here. Oh, there went one of my pencils. Alright, what time are we, guys? 4:21. Oh man. I gotta work quicker. Much quicker. Tail back here. Probably hit that with a watercolor wash. Where's our red color? This rim right here. Probably gonna catch some red light. And yeah, a little bit there. That looks good. We do still need to darken up. Might hit this spot with some watercolors just because I'm having a hard time with the pencils getting it exactly how I wanted. Blend it out, you know? Sorry guys, I keep dragging my painting closer and closer to me. You guys can't even see what I'm doing. We could do some highlights on the hearts as well, maybe. That might be nice to kind of rim those. And maybe I'll hit those with a darker purple shade on the inside. Just kind of make them stand out a little bit more. And then we'll blend it with this on top. Warm the edges up a little. So to speak. I was hoping to fit in a little bit of sketching before we were done, but I don't know if we're gonna get that in today. I was gonna do some, but the most important thing is that we get this done so we can start on other watercolors. Yeah, I kind of like the hearts like that. I think I need to deal with one of the elephants in the room, and that's the flippers. I do need to. I don't want to go too dark, but I don't want to. They definitely need darker than they are now. There we go with a more blue shade. We could put some highlights on the flippers as well. Just darken all this down just a couple values. So we have a better base to start off of. I think the tummy would end up having some, probably some blue light. All right, let's trim this here. Here. There we go. That pops that forward. And then I was talking about doing, here's my little brush. Here it is. Let's grab our blues again. Just dull them down a little bit. We needed to darken this area. Okay, it's a little more blue. Just so the room in the hat stands out better. The color here. Very delicate work here. That feels better. Just a little bit too light in there. I'll make sure we have enough contrast between the hat and the shoulders, because I want to be able to see. I want the neck to be well defined. And here as well. Let's try and blend this out. There we go. Blend that out and up. Let me grab some really dark colors. I want this to be pretty dark. Let's see how that looks. We're so close. You know how it is when you've been working on a piece for just too long? And you start to feel a little bit insane? That's this piece. It's been staring at me from this side of the room for months now. Like, this has been a little bit of a thorn in my side. So having it done, it's gonna feel really good. What color? Still have to figure out what I'm doing with the hair. You know, the hair would reflect light as well. Shoot, maybe I need to be doing that. That's a nice darker red. Hit the hair highlights here with a little bit of red. kind of like that. Guys, every time I do something with the colored pencils, it's just, that's my reaction. Hey, where did I put my blending thinger? Where did I stick that, guys? Where is my blender? Oh, there it is. Rolled under. This works. I have some purple on the tip to help blend this in. And we're gonna hit these strands here. That. A little bit there. Maybe it would hit that strand just a little bit. Let's get some of this purple off. And we're gonna hit the other side with our, what's that really lovely dark blue? It's gonna draw the hair. There we go. We'll also hit those outer edges with some light blue once we get them shaded in more. That works because we can blend it nicely into the hat. We don't have to worry about disrupting the colors because the hat's already pretty blue. And then I might go in with some watercolors just to darken the darkest parts, but we have a good balance going here. So light would probably hit that strand. Radiate a little like this. Where's my reds? I don't hate this. It's a little bit more out there than it was originally going to be design-wise, but it's working. That's all that matters. Looking good. There's a little more in there. Alright, now we gotta fix the hearts. Let's add our a little bit of warmer. I think the key with this one is I'm gonna be like, okay, it doesn't look fantastic up close, but if it sits on my shelf for a couple years from a distance, I'm gonna be like, yeah, you know what? Maybe it wasn't as bad as I remembered. I'm gonna get a lighter blue. I have a really, really light blue. I don't know if that'd be too Too light. I want to put it in here a little bit. Get that edge. That looks good. Put this here with just a little color blend, and also get our purple back out. Oh, that's not the right purple. I was like, that looks different. It's because it is different. Here it is. Let's do a little highlight here on the hands. And the knuckles. All right. I don't want to go too much further on that, actually, guys. I think we do the eyes, fix the flippers, and we call it. We just need to blend these hearts a little bit. Give them that little bit of glow. Where's my... Here we go. I have a nice red here that's darker. And perhaps we hit it. I really don't want to use white, but I am finding myself reaching for it. Just that little hit of color. All right, let's do, where's my brush? Let's hit these hearts with a little bit of color to blend in these light spots that are getting a little weird in the center. I think we mostly rescued it. Still too light here. I have a bad habit. You'll see I have a lot of like light line work that ends up kind of rimming everything when I do watercolors. It's fine when the art piece is lighter, but my watercolor teacher would always get on me about that. I'm still making a mistake. Old habits die hard. Am I right? Okay. I would like to add a little color bleed down here. And we're just gonna clean up this little bit of a mess I made down here. And using that color, I'm just gonna outline this a little bit. Soft. Some color changes there. Do under here just a little bit. The feet. Oh, what's this color I have? Hold up, guys. Oh, I was hoping that had some color to it, but it actually doesn't. I'm looking for like a grayed down purple. Perhaps if I did a purple base and then I use one of these grayish tones to shade it out. That could work. Actually, I'm gonna do gray first. And then I'm gonna do purple on top of that. Purple. I think we need to get a little bit darker. Just so we define enough from the feet to from like the legs and the coat, you know what I mean? Where? Oh, here it is. All right, we gotta wrap this up, guys. My brain's on. It's a Monday. It is a Monday, and you know how it is. All right, we're just gonna blend this all in. Clean this up a little bit. I probably should have hit that tail with some blue highlights too, you know? So I think the tail would probably get... There we go. Alright, so the legs are gonna get some highlights. I imagine the light would probably hit there. And rim about there. And the toenail. This leg also is gonna get a little rim lighting. Maybe like that. We'll probably catch a little blue here. You guys see? Make sure you guys can see properly. Alright, then we're gonna hit it with the red. Set. It's getting darker, so I'm having a hard time seeing these value shifts a lot more. I think I just want to keep these feet like really low key. Where's that? Aha! Let's shade in these intersection here. Then we're gonna get a little bit lighter. Blue, back to our blue. And where is that lovely dark? I like a really dark blue. Here it is. Oops. Mistakes were made. We may have just ruined that a little bit. Sorry, we're just gonna bring it back out. Here's my extra. A little hard to tell these are toenails at this point. I tried. Points. Points for trying, guys. Alright, so I do think I should go through, though. Which one of these is lighter? I think this one is. I think I should go through and... Look how many pencils I have out. Oh my gosh. It's getting a bit hectic. I just want to hit these certain parts with an extra, especially the beads here. That looks good. Just gotta make it stand out a little bit more. Oh, we broke a tip. Gotta be more careful. Let's just re-establish this up here. So I really do like that. Okay, so his eyes are kind of like a cat's eye, actually. So we're gonna need a small brush. And we're gonna have to be careful because I did put in a fair amount of color pencil in there. Oh, this part always gets me scared. My head's probably blocking half of this. No, it's not too bad. People placement is always stressful, guys. I think we need to darken up the sides. Not that red. Let's mix these two. Kind of want to blend this a little bit more into the sides. Oh dear. Doesn't look too shabby from a distance. I think we rescued it. I think we did. It needed a lot of rescuing. I think the colored pencils were a good play. But I think we better just call it on this one, because if we go too far, you know how you could just overwork things? Kind of like what I'm doing now. And I really don't want to do that. I do want to do one thing though. I do want to fix this line a little bit. Okay, that's better. Now, I almost feel like, where's that pink? Because I want to highlight the face in red, but I would like to pop this forward a little more. So maybe I can, let's use this pinkish red color to kind of highlight. Ooh, I like that. That's definitely better. That's good though to, you know, push myself out of like my normal medium, which has been digital for so long. To try something new, it's kind of fun. And maybe it doesn't work out. That's okay. This one was just for me anyway. Just gonna end up hanging on my wall somewhere, so. I think it's done. I think we did it, guys. It's gonna take me forever to sort these pencils. I think we did good, though. I think we definitely had some moments where it was looking a little bit concerning. Like, were we gonna be able to pull this off? Are we gonna be able to rescue this? But I think we were able to kind of salvage it, you know? And you can see that I have a really hard time kind of just letting something go and I don't 100% love it. So if y'all ever do that, just know you're not alone. I've been there. I'm there right now. I think it's alright. I think we better leave it at that. Proceeds to pick up another pencil and work on it. I just keep seeing little spots where I'm like, oh, I wish I had fixed the values there. But again, it's like small stuff. This purplish pink is like the color of Barney. That just occurred to me. Now, that's all I'm gonna see when I look at this. Stronger shadows in there. I like it. It's an unexpected turn of events that worked out. Alright, so I'm usually good about like color coordinating when I put these things back, but you know what? As long as the reds are with the reds, that's gonna be good enough. Later, that's a later me's problem. Blue. So I usually have them stacked in here from like values and value and hue, but I'm not gonna do that. I think I'm missing some. Oh, here they are. Oh, they need to all go down one row. Because I pulled out, I did a little bit of the orange on his eyes, actually, with the colored pencil. That would work nicely. This colored pencil didn't use. Okay, I had a white one out. I think I put that away. Where's the craft knife? Now, you know what I've gotten bad at, guys? Is I used to be like so good about signing my work. But I don't really do that much anymore. It's probably not a good thing. Did I sign that other one? I did. All right, we got to sign this one then. We got to start good new habits. Let's do it in hair on my face. Look at my hands, guys. We got a bit messy today. It's alright, that's how you know you had fun. There's definitely something stuck on my face. Okay. Do we want to do blue? Actually, let's hit it with red since we're gonna be doing it down here in the bottom right corner. It's gonna be, so I usually start like a cursive. Handwriting is not my strong suit. I also have a hard time fitting everything. How do I do my B spot? I used to be able to do this in my sleep. Also, important thing is make your signature different than like the one you use for legal documents. That's what my one teacher told me. Maybe she's just paranoid. But like that way your like signature isn't just like floating around everywhere for people to steal. So my one teacher told me don't date your paintings. I guess I can see why. Maybe it's extra distracting. So what I do is I flip it around and I put the date on the back. We need more paint. It's the 16th, apparently. I like to date them because when I look back at them, I like to see like, oh, you know, that's what I was doing at that like point in my life. Otherwise I won't know, like, oh, I don't know when I painted this one, like, or in which order, like did I paint this one first? Did I paint that one first? Like eventually you do get to that point where you don't know, and so it's a little nice to have a little bit of a reference to help you. All right, it's done, guys. Yes. Hold up. I know I said it was done, but I just had one idea. Because this upper section in like real life is not very bright. So I'm wondering if I can just give it a little bit more. There we go. My computer is making it look a lot more vibrant than it is. That's all right. It's gonna look better for you guys. I'm gonna have to press this in a book, and also let me set it down flat for you guys to see it a little bit better. That way I can press the paper. I'm gonna have to add some like I have like a spray on like fixative for the like chalkiness of the color pencil. Right. I think it's not that bad. I think we were able to rescue this one. I think it actually isn't gonna look bad once I have it like framed. I think it definitely, it's lacking like color contrast from the front and the back. We're just gonna say it's mysterious. If it was digital, I'd be able to resurrect it a little bit, but you know what happens when you're working with watercolors, like oftentimes if you get it too dark, you are committed to having it that way. So it's not a terrible thing. It's a good thing to keep in mind as I move forward. Just wanted to bring out these toenails a little bit. Yep, that was a terrible idea. Just wondering if I could work white into some of these sections to lighten there on the hands. Reminds my fingers have gotten so they're so covered. I can't really blend with them. Alright guys, I think that's it for today. Thank you everybody who tuned in on my not so regular stream today. We're gonna be doing more watercolors though, so this will become kind of something like I do weekly, like a weekly type thing. But today we were just working on finishing this up, so it wasn't like start to finish. At some point I'm going to make a YouTube video time lapse of the whole thing from start to finish. And the beauty of having this stream now is you guys can watch me, and then I can use the footage as well later in my video. Alright, I'm just gonna clean my brushes. We're not gonna have I'm not gonna sketch on stream today. I do intend to do some gesture drawing before the day is out, before I call it a day at 6. But I don't think I'm gonna do that on stream, just because I need to get up and stretch and make some tea. And by the time I'm ready, it'll be a long wait for you guys, so I'm not gonna make you do that. I do love cleaning my watercolor brushes so much more than doing oils. Like, you could just use water. It is such a blessing. If you guys have worked with oils before, you know what I mean. You just don't want to do it. So watercolor has its ups and downs. Like, it's a little unforgiving in some senses, but cleanup is a breeze and there's no odors. You don't need oils. So it's always a win for me. Let me clean up the powder I put in. Alright, but I will be seeing you guys Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, the usual times. 2 p.m. Eastern time until 6 p.m. Eastern time. And I think we might be working on the children's book on Wednesday. It really just depends. We may start Wednesday with some watercolors. We'll see where we're at then, and I'll let you guys know. If you want updates on what's gonna happen or what I'm up to, feel free to follow me on Instagram. I post a lot on my story, just kind of what I'm doing. And I also post like updates on like my stream and what I'm gonna be streaming / what I will not be streaming. But it's getting darker, so it's time to call it quits. I'll let you guys, I'll frame this at some point. I have to find a frame, and then I'll probably show you what it looks like on stream framed on Wednesday. But thank you everyone for watching, and I'll be seeing you guys next stream.